Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hello, I'm Kevin.
And I'm John.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look back at some of our favorite action movies from the era of Arnold.
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre, everybody. And we're taking a deep dive into some of these 80s and 90s cult action movies, and we're breaking them all the way down.
Hey, John.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Kyle.
Hey.
Hi, Kyle.
Hey.
We're delighted to have Kyle back with us again to talk a little bit more about Masters of the Universe.
You're delighted. I'm delighted.
I'm delighted that you're delighted.
Oh, this is good. This is a good start.
Yep.
So Kyle is one of the good people behind the website screenrex.com. That's SCREENREX.com.
Like
and
the dinosaur.
what can people find over there, Kyle?
Movie reviews and TV reviews, basically of any new releases. And frankly, if you can't get to the website, you can also find it through my Rotten Tomatoes page.
Oh, yeah.
If
You
you
got your
open
own. There's a page.
Oh, yeah.
In the
That's
presence
rad,
of
dude.
greatness.
What's that? Is it just Rotten Tomatoes /
I
Kyle
don't know.
Pinion or
Like,
something?
Oh, God, I don't even know. It just
But if you
Google Rotten Tomatoes and Kyle Pinion, Pinion, by the way, not YAN. And you'll find my page. It'll link to everything I've ever read.
Yeah, and I'm sure that that Rotten Tomatoes also has a handy search feature, so you probably type that in as well.
If you want to see cool pictures of small dogs, you can check out Kyle's Twitter.
That's pretty much all. My Instagram, especially.
But I have to say, it's like in the last week or so since last we were together, I've been and read some of your reviews and have been enormously impressed with your writing style, first and foremost, but also thanks so much for getting me into Sparks.
Nice.
That was a big earworm over the past couple of days.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
One of the great underheard bands, I think, of the 80s. But
I had literally never heard of them before that the trailer for that movie,
Same.
and I was like, the songs were awesome.
Oh, they're killer.
But let me tell you, they are the band that I think everybody thinks Queen is. I'm going to be honest with you. It's
Interesting.
It's the most controversial statement I have, but I absolutely adore Sparks.
Okay,
That's awesome.
I'm looking forward to the documentary and to exploring their discography.
Absolutely.
So we're going to talk some more about Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, this is not Sparks, but Masters of the Universe.
It's,
We go with Sparks instead for an hour.
No, for real.
So I'll catch us up on what's been happening on this plot, which is, again, the answer's not a lot so far. But basically, we got He-Man, Teela, and Man-at-Arms, Eternians. The Eternia is under attack. Skeletor's taking over Castle Grayskull.
Oh, no.
They're trying to get back in there, free the sorceress, stop Skeletor from gaining all the power in the universe. They got whisked accidentally to Earth using the inventor Gwildor's cosmic key. It's the movie's MacGuffin. So they've also got some Earthlings, Julie and Kevin. A couple of 25-year-old high school seniors. They found the cosmic key. We've got the Eternians and the Earthlings have linked up. They've got bad guys hunting for them.
Yeah, we had a throwdown in a junkyard.
Yes, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They whipped ass on the bad guys. The bad guys all left.
They skulked back to
Yeah.
Eternia.
And that gets us caught up.
Cool.
Good recap. We can all go home now.
They burned a lot of expensive equipment on that
They
stage.
sure as shit did. They burned all of Kevin's badass, super hard to find keyboards.
On the director's commentary, the director said they nearly burned the gym down. Like that the gym caught on fire and they got it just before it got out of control. Like the flames were so high it was hitting the ceiling and the ceiling caught on fire.
Jesus.
And, crazy.
Got to be a Canon film.
I know. It was like Menachem was probably just like standing over there going, "It's fine, bigger flames, make the flames bigger."
Just make sure you're filming it.
Well, I guess I'll get us started then. So after the battle in the junkyard, Teela and Man-at-Arms have gone to pursue the mercenaries led by Karg.
Love Karg.
And so back at the junkyard, He-Man is apparently giving Julie like the status report, including everything she ever wanted to know about Skeletor. And like enlists her basically saying, we need your help to find the cosmic key. He's like, it's about this big and it's got buttons all over it. And she's like, yeah, I've seen that. My boyfriend has it. So He-Man's like, that kid's in a shit ton of trouble. And so they run off to find him. Meanwhile,
he says, he's in terrible danger. Let's go.
Yeah. More to the point.
There's no spaces between those words.
Yeah, you'd think for someone that had as little screen time as Dolph Lundgren that he would have tried to make more out of his moments.
Yeah,
but man, he didn't. He's in terrible danger. Let's go. So yeah, meanwhile, Kevin's like returning to the high school, which is it's burned to the ground.
Yeah.
Fire trucks are everywhere. He's upset to find his audio gear like in cinders.
He did. He seemed to value the keyboard.
I mean, I would too.
First and foremost.
I would too, but never mind that Julie's body might be in there.
Thank God they saved the pagoda. The pagoda has been salvaged. It was dragged out.
Are they still going to have prom?
That was the scene that I mentioned where in this scene there's prom goers in the background, like kids in suits and dresses and stuff. So I'm like, I guess this is actual prom night.
Yeah.
It's just strange.
Is this an actual high school, though? I mean, I don't know if they mentioned that in the commentary or not, but I was trying to like...
Oh, with the filming location?
Yeah, I was trying to get a sense of like the geography of the actual hallway they were walking
I think
through.
it was a set because from what I gathered from just reading online, it was the set that Canon was going to use for their Spider-Man feature.
Got it.
Oh, like the exterior of the school?
Yeah.
You mean in that little short
the exterior
hallway?
and the interior,
I think
like all the gym stuff.
Oh, I thought that was a real... Well, maybe it was a real building. I don't know.
Yeah.
All I know is they really did almost burn it down.
That was the location from what I gather that they were going to use for the Spider-Man movie.
It would make sense that there would be a high school and a Spider-Man
Yeah,
movie,
totally.
more so than a He-Man movie.
It gives me hope that they would have at least gotten that part right, but then knowing canon, would Peter Parker have also been a 25 or 30-year-old high school student?
Oh, hell yeah. So it would have had like Michael J. Fox, 1990 Michael J. Fox in there. Or
it would have been Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon. Yeah.
So as paramedics roll Carl out on a stretcher, Carl's the janitor, for those of you who are nasty and listening before. Kevin's like, Carl, hey, what happened? And Carl says, you don't never want to know.
Busted out laughing.
It's like, okay, Carl. Kevin tries to go in, but the police, led by the irascible Detective Lubic, they stop him.
James Tolkan has entered the picture.
Yeah, that's right. And the movie is taking a turn for the fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite things about the movie. Because he also just goes for it.
Yeah.
And he's like right in his element. He's getting to play that role he's born to play, which is kind of a in-your-face hard ass.
Yeah. Kevin tells them, the police and Lubic, that Julie was inside. Lubic's like, hey, man, there's no one else inside. We're investigating the whole place for arson and vandalism, and all we found was this, and this is Julie's purse. Kevin's like, hey, that's my girlfriend's purse, and hey, she's missing. And so he like starts to describe her for Lubic, who's like jotting down notes and like doing that like James Tolkan, like licking his lips and like putting his tongue weird in his mouth, as Kevin becomes like more and more combative about why the police aren't doing anything about a situation that they've only just become aware of. Like, why aren't you out there looking for us? Like, you literally just
You're
said,
still giving
like,
her a description.
Yeah. So Lubic decides that he and Kevin are going to take a ride.
Oh, great police procedure, by the way.
Yeah. Like,
Get in the car. We're going for a ride.
We're going for a ride. I went too, like, fuck this kid, like this giving me this routine, and like we've just figured out that there's a girl that was even in the building. So anyway, he puts Kevin.
What time do you think it is that the prom is only just now, or hasn't even supposed to have started yet?
It's got to be like 7
But it's because it's after dark.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It's like close to. Well, the prom should have. Yeah, prom would have probably started. Maybe the dance would have started today, but people would have started getting there at 7.
Yeah. Okay. It all adds
because
up then, I think.
If he's just getting back, if Kevin's just getting back to the school, I don't know.
I love that he left Julie guarding his, $10,000 worth of gear.
Anyway,
I don't think you would expect Beastman to roll through the gym. In fairness,
That's accurate. That's accurate.
Yeah. So Lubic puts Kevin in his squad car, tells him to lead the way to Julie's house. We cut back to the junkyard. Teela and Duncan are returning from chasing the mercenaries. He tells He-Man that they got away. He-Man introduces everybody, says that Julie knows who has the cosmic key. He's like, this is Teela, this is Duncan. Good journey.
Did you have any luck?
Yeah.
Not as much as you, apparently.
Yeah,
says
I like
Teela.
that. I like that.
The fuck?
I like that. Like, Teela is totally like, she's super jelly right here, right?
Yes. Like, do you think she wants He-Man?
Is she He-Man's girlfriend in canon? I don't remember.
I don't think they had a relationship. Did they?
I don't. I think that all right, so last time we were trying to figure out like who the fuck or what the fuck Skeletor is. So I went down a few YouTube wormholes. Come to find out, if canon is to be believed, like if we follow all the source materials, Skeletor is a warlord from another planet.
Okay.
In some cases. In other cases, he is King Randor, Prince Adam's dad, Sir not appearing in this film.
Mm-hmm.
He is King Randor's brother.
Okay.
So Skeletor is
like an
He-Man's
evil-
uncle.
Yeah.
Okay.
You sent me that link. He would in that lore, he would have been like his evilness sort of rotted his flesh away of it from his face.
Well, in one of the cartoons where he was introduced as He-Man's uncle, it was like an acid accident that like corroded his face off.
Oh,
freak
Harvey
acid
Dent.
accident.
Okay.
Like it's very Joker.
Yeah,
like
okay.
yeah, he fell into the Axis Chemicals vat, and so like basically it's a toss up. What you want Skeletor to be, that's what he is.
could
But
be
in
anything.
some of the cartoons and other like lore, Teela, there is a romantic connection between Teela and Prince Adam.
Okay.
Like in
Oh,
I
Prince
think
Adam, but not.
no, well, He-Man. Like
He-Man?
in the earliest renditions of like the comics and stuff where He-Man was just like this barbarian warlord, like he was the protector of his people. I'm pretty sure that in that version, Teela was his woman.
Okay.
So it makes sense in this that she'd be kind of like, fuck.
Forgive my foggy memory. In the cartoon, did everyone know that Prince Adam was He-Man, or was it like a Clark
No,
Kent Superman
it was a
thing?
Clark Kent Superman deal.
Oh my God, this is worse than Clark Kent Superman because he has the exact same face.
Yeah, but the pink pants and purple vest and shit.
But he had the same page boy haircut.
Same head.
Nothing changes.
Same head. He
Still the same
changes clothes.
500-pound muscle man.
But also, the voice actor did make the decision. Like Prince Adam's voice was like pitched higher, and Superman's voice was like, "Anybody want to use Bolo?" It's like I don't know.
Sure.
Anyway.
But what Teela said, wildly inappropriate.
Yeah,
like the implication that He-Man had fucked a high schooler.
I don't think it matters in Eternia. Age ain't nothing but a number, baby.
That made me wonder, has He-Man just been like boning his way around Eternia or the galaxy?
I don't know. He hasn't been doing anything else. He's certainly not in this movie. So He-Man says that the baddies were just a scouting party, the mercenaries are the baddies, and that they need to find the key before Skeletor's entire army shows up. Is at that moment that an old Cadillac, a badass car, comes like crashing through a pile of garbage towards him. It's Skeletor! And he says that he's fixed the car to run on something called neutrinos. The DVD Blu-ray subtitle said Lucrinos, whatever the fuck that is.
But he definitely
He says neutrinos. But then
Okay.
later on, when he says it again, it's neutrinos. So I think
Okay.
that's bad editing from someone.
How did any of this happen? Like,
Where
he
did
has
he
this
get some
Eternian
neutrinos?
Tech, but he didn't have that on his person.
No, he
when
carried
he came
nothing
through
with
the
him.
wormhole.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it would be compatible with a 60s caddy or 50s caddy.
We don't know
anyway.
what's in his cloak.
He's got like Mary Poppins bag or something. It's just
I
whatever
just
you
envision
need.
it a MacGyver thing where he
Yeah,
just like takes any
exactly.
junk he finds and
Awesome.
turns
No
it into
idea.
something else.
Fucking flux
Everyone
capacitor.
piles right. Yeah, exactly. Everyone piles right in. Gwildor fires up all sorts of futuristic alien tech. That's what. Yeah, it's like
the components. Where'd they come from?
Yeah, it
Who
doesn't.
knows?
He ET'd that shit. But I
The
kept
speak
thinking,
and spell, or the Mr. Spell.
Yeah,
or whatever.
exactly. I kept thinking of Jack. Where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? So back on Eternia, meanwhile, Skeletor is all up in Evil-Lyn's grill, and they're sharing this very almost tender, weird moment.
He had
He's
her
like,
gripped, right? Like he
yeah,
was
he's like hands on the
holding
side
her
of her
head.
face.
I just have to say one thing about that shot. For every single time I see it, I think that he's holding a crystal ball on a table because the cape she has looks like a tablecloth. I've thought that ever since I was a kid. I was like, what is he looking at? Oh, it's Evil-Lyn. Every single time,
That's
it
awesome.
never fails.
That's awesome.
Cool.
So yeah, he's like telling her, he's like, I need the people of Eternia to know that I'm running shit and I'm depending on you to make that happen.
Frank Langella brought like real menace to a very flimsy character.
And he's otherwise pretty flimsy dialogue.
He's pretty scary. He's much scarier than cartoon versions of Skeletor.
Oh, yeah.
Or kind of campy humor.
Big time. This version of Skeletor reminded me of like the motion picture live action version of Shredder. Like just the how much more terrifying Shredder was.
Shredder wore a cape, didn't he?
Yeah. He wore a very similar cape to Evil-Lyn, I feel like. So Evil-Lyn says the people still believe He-Man will return and save the day. She says the only way to control the people is to get rid of He-Man. But Skeletor is like, if I kill He-Man, he becomes a martyr. So I got to break him and so that all Eternia can see. Just then, the 4 mercenaries sort of like bebop back into the room, a little empty-handed. Skeletor's like, where's the key, guys? And Karg...
Where did they come from? Where was the portal, if not... Skeletor's holding the key.
Yeah,
there's not did he open a portal in another room?
Maybe he didn't want to be disturbed, so he was like, if you got to open it. But that's what I was like. How did
he's in control of that key?
How did Karg and the other guys like radio them and let them know we're coming back now?
It must have been open the entire time.
That's okay. How can Skeletor have a thing open? But no, like the good guy not even the guy who invented the thing knows how to use it. But Skeletor's like, we can have a portal in a different room. Maybe we can leave it open an indeterminable amount of time.
Maybe the prototype has some glitches.
That's a good point.
Maybe.
That's a good point. I
don't know. I'm trying to bail them out.
I like that. So Karg speaks up for the group and is like, we found the key, but we were outnumbered and defeated by He-Man and company. Karg says, we thought it was wise to escape with our lives and return with a larger army. Skeletor is pissed that He-Man is still in the picture and vaporizes poor Sarad.
the best looking.
Clearly because it was expensive. There was no other reason why they did that.
That neck pouch.
They were like, we're not paying for this anymore.
It really should have been. I mean, who's the most boring? Blade?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or whatever his name is. Yeah.
Sarad was in 4 shots the whole movie.
Yeah, they couldn't do any more close-ups.
Like he was climbing over that box and firing a laser, and then he got blasted by Julie, and then he was like, "That's it. That's all of the action you see from him in the movie." Sarad, we knew him well. So the others beg for forgiveness. Evil-Lyn advocates for sparing their lives. Skeletor tells save your pity for yourself, and that you're going back to Earth with the guys to find the key, and that you better not fail. Essentially,
it's kind of funny her look on it. Like I didn't mean me.
Yeah, it's like I didn't want to go.
Wait, I saw where Meg Foster, the actress, had said in her mind Evil-Lyn is in love with Skeletor.
Yeah. Sure,
like in that she's trying to. Whatever, make him love her back.
Yeah, and that holds up from like He-Man lore too.
That adds like nuance to the performance.
Yeah.
I like having that detail because I didn't really remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Skeletor is like, once we have it, once you have the key, send a signal.
But you need the key to send a signal.
Yeah, once you have it. Use the key, I guess. Hit the big red button, fire up the light show, and we'll come to assist. It's like, go! And the mercenaries, and they all do like a variety of bows and flourishes and sort of leave the room.
And this is a bit where there's some ominous music that was like, it was straight from one of the Karate Kid movies. Although this might have been before the Karate Kid movie, so it could be that.
No, this is after the Karate Kid movies. Karate Kid came out in 84, didn't it?
This was, I think, a song that was, or the.
Like a knight in shining
No. It's like the little evil ominous theme was either from 2 or 3.
Okay.
Which I don't remember when. 2 might have come out in 86 or 87, right around this time.
3 was
and
like
3 was 89.
89, yeah.
Now you guys have got me wanting to watch Karate Kid Part 2.
Well, Part 3 is the greatest Karate Kid
Terry
film.
Silver, man.
I like dumpy Daniel LaRusso in that one. Like
30-year-old
dad bod Daniel LaRusso.
fighting in the under 18, the All Valley under 18 karate.
He doesn't need to qualify. He's the champ.
You only fight the final match.
That's so stupid. That's the worst rule I've ever heard in my life. Like, what if the Super Bowl champs didn't need to play until Super Bowl?
We just show up for the Super Bowl.
That's amazing. Actually, I'd be kind of interested to see.
Get the shit kicked out of them.
Yeah, probably.
They'd be rusty.
Right. Anyway, that's neither here nor Eternia. Back on Earth, Lubic and Kevin are cruising the burbs on their way to Julie's house. They pull up to a house with a sold sign in the yard.
Did you notice when he cut that corner, he just jumped the curb?
Yeah.
He ran into the curb.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not bother to do another take? Like, just keep it.
We don't have time. Goddard was like, fuck
Got
it.
energy.
We gotta go. Exactly. We gotta go. Lubic would hit the curb. So yeah, they let themselves into Julie's house.
Because Kevin has a key?
That wouldn't surprise me.
Or there's a key hidden that he knows where
also,
it is?
The house is sold. I don't know how this works.
I guess the closing hasn't happened yet, I'm assuming. Because, all her boxed up stuff is inside.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for her to be leaving the next day, I guess she's going to have mover. Like, is Kevin going to
be all
maybe
shipped?
Kevin's going to sort of facilitate moving all her shit for her?
He shouldn't do that. It should be a clean break.
This whole situation is so
But
weird.
you could hire movers that come and load it all in a truck and bring it to wherever, I guess.
So at the moment that they enter the house, as luck would have it, Julie calls her own home for some reason.
Who would she be expecting to answer?
So that's what I was saying. It's like, maybe she thinks by this point, maybe Kevin, she's been gone long enough that Kevin would have alerted the police about her whereabouts and would have gone to her house. That's the only thing that I can think
Was
of.
Kevin living there?
They were definitely banging there. Well, she's been
I just wonder, maybe she's expecting him to be there, because he lives there.
Especially if he comes back and she's gone,
maybe. But
he'd
she's
go
like,
to her house to look for her,
the line she gives is, "Thank God it's you."
Who else would
Who the
it be?
fuck is it gonna? Who else is gonna be in the house?
Karg.
The realtor. Karg.
Beastman.
Beastman, babe. Thank God. So Kevin hides the fact that it's Julie on the phone. I love that Lubic is smoking in the house during the scene. Yeah, he's like smoking a cig in the house. Through like a coded conversation, Kevin confirms that he still has the key, and Julie says that she and the others will meet him there at the house. He doesn't know who the others are, but whatever.
Yeah. It would have been so easy for him to say, "Yeah, I'm here with the police now." Like, to let her know that the police are there. Instead, he's just like, "Is someone there with you?" Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like, you could have just said, "Yeah, I'm here with the police now. Have you seen Julie?"
Or he could have just been like, "Hey, Lubic, let me tell you about the whole story around the stupid key."
Is he just that hung up on? He wants the key.
He's a master.
He doesn't want to do anything that might risk him losing the key.
He's a master song maker, not a genius. So
then Kevin goes straight to raid the refrigerator.
Yeah, you're like, he hangs up the phone, and Lubic is suspicious that Kevin's been talking about the key and wants to know what. I think you were talking about this. Yeah. Kevin tells him it's a synthesizer, and Lubic just starts mashing buttons because that's what you do. I love how tickled he gets while he's pushing the buttons on.
That was the moment I referenced before. Like, you never have seen James Tolkan laugh before. Yeah,
he's
awesome.
like giggling like a child. He's like super into it.
He's mashing the buttons like with his knuckles, like he's an ape or something. Like he's just like.
He seems delighted by the device and tells Kevin that I don't believe this is a synthesizer.
This thing that literally is playing music. I don't believe it's a synthesizer.
Yeah, when not on duty, maybe he's like a successful. He's got a successful side
he's got
career
a side
in music.
band. He plays jazz sax.
He's like Duke Silver on Parks and Recreation.
Exactly. Did you notice this little tie pin with his little handcuffs?
No, that's cool.
That was a cool touch.
His jacket is awesome in this movie too.
You like that little Serpico or whatever?
Yeah, the leather jacket with the belt around it. That's badass. Back at the junkyard, Evil-Lyn and the mercenaries have shown up. A small group of stormtroopers are also there. They're resuming that search for Julie, He-Man, and the Cosmic Key. They've also brought through some kind of a hover vehicle, which, again, it's like He-Man and the guys can't get through the hole fast enough, but Skeletor and his guys can leave it open long enough to bring through like artillery and tanks and shit. But using a scanning device, we'll have to talk about how the fuck this technology works, but Evil-Lyn is able to see into the immediate past.
Yeah.
That the mercenary story doesn't hold up, that it was He-Man alone who like knocked the shit out of him. How does that thing work?
I don't know, but I dig that device. Like, more movies should use that. Something that can let you see into the recent past in that certain place.
How does that work?
I don't know. They got crazy. We've seen the Cosmic Key can do crazy shit.
I guess so.
Bend time, yeah.
It's within the realm of, it can, whatever. You get like the disturbances in the space-time
continuum.
I guess so.
Maybe you can
scan the past disturbances.
But we have to think that strange things are possible in Eternia, like souping a car up with neutrinos or whatever.
Exactly.
So meanwhile, one of the stormtroopers has locked onto the key's location since it's been activated by Lubic.
It's about 10 metrons away. Is that more or less than a parsekion? Like, there's just there's no continuity to their measurements. I kind of like the fact that you're like, I'm rereading Dune right now, and there's a lot of language that Frank Herbert uses, like original units of measure and things like that are
part of that universe. They're, common practice. And I kind of dig the fact that I don't know what they mean.
Well, I appreciate world building like that, but I also appreciate consistency.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah, I mean, this just sounds made up. It's all made up, I realize.
It's 10 metrons away, which I guess is close-ish.
Right.
They get there pretty quick.
30 feet.
You can see that robot's jaw moving. Come on. Well, why bother? What's such a weird concern that Mattel didn't want them to be humans? They need to be robots to get wasted. What if the robot passed a Turing test?
Well, that was the
Do we feel bad for it?
That was the same thing with the Ninja Turtles cartoon, right?
The Mousers and stuff?
The Foot were all robots in the cartoon. The Foot soldiers.
Oh, shit, for real?
Yeah.
There's another concern
and
of
in the comic book,
it's probably
the Ninja Turtles were fucking killing other murdering ninjas.
For sure. It probably is that thing of Saturday morning cartoon regulations or something.
Right. Yeah. Back at Julie's house, Lubic continues to play with the key. Kevin's like, "Oh, you think that's cool? Press the red button," which makes the light show and turns on the. And Lubic, like everyone else, is dazzled by the lights. It's very impressive. He turns it off, then demands to know where Kevin got the thing. Kevin, picking through a bucket of leftover fried chicken, says, "That's my instrument."
He's so nasty the way he's just handling all the chicken and licking his fingers and going back into
touching all of it.
I can't even tell you. I was still under the impression at this point of watching the movie that we're supposed to hate Kevin, just find him very annoying and unlikable.
Well, he's sort of but he's just such a non-entity in the movie at this point.
He's a milquetoast.
Yeah, he definitely is. So he then puts the entire bucket of chicken in the microwave.
Oh, that'll work.
Which it's a big fucking microwave.
It was. And also, I could never imagine putting a bucket of chicken in.
No, you take a couple of pieces
few pieces
out.
you want to eat. I guess
are you going to eat the whole? Maybe he's going to offer some to Lubic.
Yeah, I'm sure he was.
Lubic's a vegan. So anyway, the microwave jams the bad guy's tracking signal.
That's right.
Back at the junkyard. Evil-Lyn tells the stormtrooper to destroy whatever's jamming the signal, which was very reminiscent of Running Man to me. It's like, you got to jam the signal.
Well, I like it's very difficult. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. And she's like, destroy it now. And with a single keystroke, he destroys it. He's like, that didn't seem very difficult.
Yeah, done.
Dude. Yeah, it's just, okay. Yeah, I had to hit this one button.
Yeah,
very difficult.
And in doing that, hitting that button, the microwave explodes at Julie's house. Evil-Lyn and the rest of the troop begin heading to the location that they tracked. The stormtrooper says that after the microwave exploded, they had a clear signal from the key. The key had already been turned off at that point. I just want to point that out. Okay. So anyway, just say.
I love it.
So Lubic by this point is threatening Kevin, like Kevin blew up the microwave on purpose. And Kevin's I just found the thing. We found it. It's been in a graveyard. Lubic's like, if that's the case, I'm going to take it down and see if it's been stolen. And if you're telling the truth and no one claims it, you can have it back. And so Lubic's like, he's gone. Takes the key.
He tells him to go. Kevin tells Lubic to go to Charlie and ask Charlie about it if you don't trust me. And Lubic's like, I just might do that.
I just might do that.
Why is this stupid thing that important to Lubic?
Lubic
they're looking for a girl.
Yeah, exactly. That's another great point.
We find out he has weird communist conspiracy theories in mind shortly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Lubic leaves with the key. Meanwhile, both good guys and bad are racing to Julie's house. We cut to Kevin weirdly cleaning up some Burger King trash by straight arm raking it into the sink. What the fuck is happening?
What? Was that a product placement?
It had to be.
Paid?
It had to be. Yeah.
Kyle, in your opinion, why was he raking the trash into the sink and not the trash?
I'm going to guess that they could not set up the shot where they had it in a trash can, it would be a lower level. So they probably were like, if we just have him rake it into the sink, it'll be like a dumb teenager thing to do. And then when the bad guys come crashing in, we don't have to reset the shot.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about.
I think it was a production thing, but I also agree with what you had said earlier, John, which is
that Burger King was like, yeah, you can use our stuff. We'll pay you money, but don't rake it in the trash.
Oh, that's probably
They might
better.
be like, don't put it in the trash.
Don't
Put it in the sink. Like a normal person.
I don't understand. Well, or what if it would have been awesome if McDonald's had paid to have Kevin rake the Burger King shit in the trash.
Or be like, oh, this is terrible. Take a big bite of a Whopper.
Ooh, this is the worst burger I've ever had. What
That
is
is
this?
weird. And then they cut back to the wide shot and there is no trash in the sink.
Of course
anymore.
not. There's the continuity in this movie is terrible, by the
Yeah.
way.
Also,
Shot
what
to shot.
he put 3 perfectly good looking oranges in the tray in the sink as well. It's just
That's a hell
weird.
of a disposal. It's like the disposal is
weird.
like a lawnmower. The door explodes at that moment. The Beast Man bursts in and starts kicking Kevin's ass. More bad guys pour in and start ransacking the house. The Beast Man is poised to, like, he's straight up going to murder Kevin at this point. But Evil-Lyn stops him, says that she knows that he has the key and wants to know where it is. Kevin plays dumb, so they put some sort of device around his neck like a collar, which made me think of like the mutant power muting collars in X-Men on like Genosha.
I was into that device too, like just as a piece of movie tech.
Yeah.
There was a nice effect on his voice.
Yeah,
too,
that was
in this
that was
place.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the lighting on it. So yeah, she
modulation.
turns it on. Kevin like goes into some sort of trance. It's like truth serum. Elsewhere, the bad guys are like tearing through moving boxes that are stacked all over the house.
They were wrecking that place.
Yeah.
That's got to like trigger your OCD when you're just like, you had everything packed up and these dudes are just
it
strewn everywhere now.
infuriates me, but also like, was Julie going to take all that shit to New Jersey with her, or is she going to put it in storage? I don't know. Karg is in another room, finds a newspaper clipping about Julie's dead parents and a family photo. And this was one of the points where
loose.
I was like,
it was loose in a box, just loose paper.
just lying on the top. Can Karg, and this is what we talked about this before, I guess Karg and other Eternians can read English.
Sure. Yeah.
Of course.
Probably.
Now, the
Or
runes
is
that
it-
are on the throne are some other language.
Yeah, those
But-
look like just actual like runes and stuff, but maybe the photo was enough for context. I don't know. It felt an awful lot like Karg can read English.
This is the first time, by the way, I've seen this movie, I think, 15 times in my life. This is the first time I've ever noticed that Karg has bat ears. I never knew that.
I don't think I've ever noticed that.
Yeah, he's got these big long bat ears that are hidden behind his metal hair.
His mullet.
Yeah, and like I think he's supposed to be a bat.
I could see that.
I could see that too.
I'm into
His
it.
face is bachelor.
It's batshit crazy.
Yeah, so Evil-Lyn's like interrogating Kevin. He tells her that a policeman took the key, but I don't know where. But he does know where.
He
knows that he's going.
He
I guess
doesn't know for
he
a
does
fact.
and he
Maybe
doesn't. Yeah, I guess so.
He has a hunch he could be.
That's a convenient, like a convenient happenstance that he's like,
Evil-Lyn's-
I don't know for sure.
Evil-Lyn's little hologram device that she had, I thought was like the coolest visual effect in the movie.
Yeah. Oh,
sure.
That was pretty dope.
I'm glad Evelyn knows what a policeman is.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, we have police. Well, we call them men at arms in Eternia. So Blade repeats the fallacy that they should be able to track the key from the air.
Yeah, not if it's not,
Not
on,
if it's
right?
not on, dumbass.
But it, yeah, yeah.
Evil-Lyn agrees. I don't know why. And the baddies begin to regroup to head out in pursuit. Karg then presents the newspaper clipping and photo to Evil-Lyn, pointing out that Julie, she was the one that was with He-Man. She says, Evil-Lyn says the photo may prove useful and takes it.
Karg gave a little subtle fist bump.
He's like,
Did
yeah,
you see that? I get the impression Karg is maybe in love with Evil-Lyn.
probably.
Like, he seems like he's just always very eager to please her.
Wants to
He's a
lick
simp.
that boot in a sexual way.
There's a lot of unrequited love in this movie, though.
Oh,
I
is
think.
that what this movie's about?
It's a lot of it happening,
Unrequited
even from
love?
Kevin to Julie.
He-Man to
sort of.
Sorceress.
Sure,
Skeletor to He-Man.
maybe.
No,
yeah.
definitely.
He's got that obsession going for sure. Yeah, good
he's
call.
got that nephew love. So the baddies all pile into the hovercraft and take off just as He-Man and the rest of the good guys arrive.
Longest car ride ever, by
Right?
the way.
Took a while to get there.
Holy
10
moly.
Metrons or however many the fuck Metrons was is like took forever for the good guys. I guess
Especially
neutrinos.
when, the troopers were on foot.
I know.
Right? And they
I
got
don't
there
even know.
faster.
I don't
And they
even
stopped
know.
to talk about their plan. And yeah, come
Well, I
on.
mean, if Gwildor was driving, there's no telling how many wrong turns they took. Yeah, they burst in the house, find the place wrecked. They also find Kevin in the kitchen with a collar on.
You know Julie's pissed. That could jeopardize the closing. That could jeopardize the sale of the house.
Well, it's already sold. The
it's
sign's
wrecked.
already there. Yeah. So they ask what happened. Kevin tells them the bad guys came looking for the key, but that he didn't have it. The policeman took it, and they left to go look for him. Duncan's working to take the collar off Kevin. Kevin then tells them that a woman with strange eyes put it on him, and they deduced that could only be Evil-Lyn.
Right.
The only woman in the galaxy with strange eyes. They get the collar off of Kevin, and he snaps out of the trance, shocked to see Julie there with more weird aliens in the house. Kevin tells Julie to like run, grabs a chair to use as a weapon, which Tila like shoots at his hand.
Yeah, she did. Quick on the draw.
Julie's like, no, these are my friends.
Kevin had that vibe of Matt in the Terminator, Ginger's boyfriend, when he's like, "Don't make me bust you up, man."
Yeah.
And then Terminator just like sends him through the wall.
Yeah. Julie's like, but these are my friends. Kevin's still freaked out. Things are tense, but just then like Gwildor comes in dressed in like Julie's dead mom's clothes and everything's cool. Like, what the hell is that?
It was like some ET shit when
Yeah.
Gertie put him in like the grandmom's
It
clothes
is
or whatever.
100% like Goddard's like, I love that scene in ET. Let's do
Gonna
that.
bring the house down.
Yeah.
In the theaters, you're gonna lose there. She could be swinging from the chandeliers when Gwildor comes out in drag.
Julie says she can try
But
to...
wait, the Eternians thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, everyone thought that was
They
the
all
funniest shit in the world.
Take a minute to laugh at this.
It was almost as funny as when Gwildor almost drowned.
Almost.
in the first act, the end of the first act. So Julie says, I can try to explain to you, Kevin, on the road, but right now we got to help He-Man get the thing. Kevin's like, I don't know. Duncan's like, tell me where Lubic's headed. Kevin says he might have been going to my bud Charlie's music store to ask like what the cosmic key is. And they ask if Kevin and Julie can show them how to get there. The couple's like, yes, no. It's like campy
Kevin's
as
not-
shit.
yeah,
Kevin's
he wants
not having
out.
it,
He wants
rightfully
to-
so. He's pissed about his keyboard getting wrecked. We cut to them tearing ass out of the neighborhood in the caddy. Meanwhile, Evil-Lyn's ship is flying towards town.
It's inconceivable that the baddies are not already there.
I know.
Yeah.
But unless it's like you said, that they
All of
can't
this is
track it while it's turned off, and maybe they're
Right.
just maybe they're aimlessly cruising.
Well, just like undetected by the rest of the whole town. Like I just
We're gonna have to talk about that too. That no townspeople come out to see all the chaos.
everyone's over at the high school
It's like
wondering
8 or
what
9
happened to the
o'clock
gym.
at night. It's
I
not
don't know.
late.
Yeah, I know. Over at Charlie's music store, Lubic is asking Charlie, like, tell me about the key. Is it Russian?
He's on that commie. He's like this commie shit.
Just then the caddy pulls up, sputtering and sparks flying. And I love the line from Lubic. What do you know? The mountain comes to Mohammed.
What does that even mean?
It's a quote from the Quran, or loosely. I don't think it's actually from the Quran, but it's like a story about how like Muhammad in a legend was like going to prove something to the people, and he's like, I'll have like the mountain, I'll have the mountain come to me, but the mountain didn't come to him, and so instead he went to the mountain. Which, I mean,
But this is like the thing I'm looking for has come to me now.
right, exactly.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Like it's like unbelievable that it would happen, because Muhammad's like, the mountain will come to me, the mountain will come to me, and then the mountain didn't come to him, so he went to the mountain, and then the people were like, oh, that's so big of him to, I don't know.
That's an incredible reference for a movie this stupid,
Right?
I have to be honest.
I know.
That caddy's running like shit now too.
Yeah,
by the way, right?
neutrinos
Like,
are not like
his
a long-term
repairs
solution. It was a patch job. So as He-Man and the rest pile out, Lubic marvels at He-Man's side. Hey, he's like, hey, how come I got this feeling like I've been looking for you all night?
I love Tolkan, man. Tolkan's the shit, dude. He's like, yeah, I've been looking for you all night.
It's
like
great.
he's ready to kick ass.
Yeah, He-Man says he thinks Lubic has something that belongs to them. Lubic draws down on He-Man, says he wants answers. Let's start with you, Blondie.
I love that shit. He's a treasure, Tolkien.
Yeah.
He's still alive, and I love that.
That's awesome. Oh, what's he been up to lately?
I don't think he works much.
He's got to be
anymore.
retired.
I think he does like one credit a year.
That's cool.
Or something. He turns up at something. Yeah.
He'd be a badass judge on any one of like the NCIS shows or Law and Order or anything like that. Oh, yeah. Anyway, Gwildor comes in still in Julie's dead mom's clothes. It says that the bad guys are approaching. How does he know?
He says they're 18 metrons away. It seems like they should be closer than 18 metrons, because it was 10 metrons from the house to downtown.
There's only like 4 sets. The sound's not that big.
Tila, in that moment of distraction, disarms Lubic. He-Man grabs the key, gives it to Gwildor, tells him to start plotting the course home. Duncan says, we've got 0.61 chromons to Moonrise, you guys, whatever the fuck that means.
There's no context. It could mean 5 days.
Yeah,
like we
6
don't
days,
know.
a week. I still kind of think that it's like a little more than 12 hours, maybe. So Tila takes Gwildor and all the humans to hide in the back room of Charlie's music store. As Evil-Lyn and her squad arrive, Karg tells her the key's inside. I guess he knows, and like he and wait.
I think they've spotted that He-Man's in there too.
Yeah. So he's like, He-Man and his crew are inside. Evil-Lyn tells the Beastman to lead the Stormtrooper attack, and for Karg and Blade to follow her.
I have to ask, how many times have they referenced the moonrise at this point? Only twice?
It's been a couple of times in the throne room, and then I think a couple
of times. Once when they got to Earth, it was at 0.84 chromons, and now it's 0.61.
So 4 times total, maybe?
So there is a countdown.
We could do the math. We could do our own conversion. It's been 0.23 chromons since they got there, and we figure it's like 5-ish hours or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Not a lot of time.
So they got 10-ish hours left, maybe, something like that.
So inside the store, He-Man and Duncan are out front, like entrenched in music gear. In the back,
they barricaded themselves by
amps
keyboards.
And shit. Amps and keyboards. In the back, Gwildor's like trying to calculate the correct course back to Eternian to free the sorceress. As he's going about the hard work of saving everyone, Kevin interrupts him, wanting an explanation of how the key fucking works.
Totally.
Well, Kevin, Gwildor says, the universe is music, blah, blah, blah. It's like...
it's going to be really useful for the plot later. Like, that's all I can figure as we're watching.
Yeah. Lubic's like telling the other humans that they must have stumbled into some kind of fringe cult, which is kind of awesome. It's good writing for Lubic.
I like that. That was a legit
Tolkien.
Funny joke. It's like some kind of a fringe cult.
I just can't believe. I mean, I both like the fact that they're in a music store, but I can't believe when they said we're going to make a He-Man movie. An important set piece will be this music store
in general.
Just in general, yeah. I mean,
like,
that they return to many times. It boggles my mind that they went there.
You are right. For a movie that was a high budget movie, they do have a very limited number of sets.
Yeah, it's really kind of unbelievable. I don't know what they spent most of their money on. I guess the throne room.
It was that canon shit too, where you felt like there was a lot of money being sort of
siphoned off and going into producers' pockets.
Yeah, probably.
Shit. Yeah, it was immediately going into funding other movies. It was so like
pyramid
it's so weird.
scheme
Yeah,
almost,
exactly.
or a house of cards.
Back in the front of the store, Duncan and He-Man see Skeletor's forces amassing, about to crash through the front window. What's going to happen to our intrepid heroes? What's going to happen to Gwildor? Who the fuck knows? He-Man's barely in this movie. I'm at a loss. I do love this movie. I can't not love it.
We're going to tell you all about it next week, listeners.
In the exciting 4th installment of our Masters of the Universe series. Kyle, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
And we hope that you'll stick around. We'll do another.
I got to see through it to the end. He hasn't even said the catchphrase yet.
It's true.
In the meantime, good journey, friends. And we'll be back.